Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, computer. Your voice modulator sounds a bit off.
Recalibrated.
Ah, much better. Good morning. Anything new on the agenda?
Negative. Tara 1 is still en route to its current destination. Chief Engineer Mercer has been asleep on the bridge for some time now.
Why on the bridge? Probably punching in the new coordinates, given that Archer's still sick.
Otherwise, there is nothing else to report.
Excellent. Thank you. That'll be all, computer.
Oh.
There we are. Right in the floor. I am. There we go. Now I am no longer in the floor.
Then on that space station, but it caused the doors to go haywire.
Morning, Captain.
Good morning, all.
Salve, Captain. Hoorah.
Good morning, Chef. We'll just have the standard. Nutrient bar and coffee.
Is this one?
Thank you.
What about changing up your coffee today, sir?
Nah. Black is always for me.
Fair
laundry noise. Sound effects are great.
Place it on me.
Very well. Thank you, Chef.
Yes, I made the mistake of grabbing the hot mug the other day.
Oh, why is that doing that?
Oh, it's not to your liking, sir. I can make you something else.
No, I don't know why it's doing that. Faulty
Through them
weapon
behind
systems. I highly doubt that, Sid. But good morning.
Morning, Chef. Something good. Something good. I take it on the menu this morning. Something protein dense. Eating sinew still remaining in it, preferably. I find myself in dire need of a hearty breakfast.
What do you have? Something protein related, but not as intense as what the commander is suggesting. Though if it comes down to it, I don't mind hunting for more game if you need more supplies later. Figure of speech.
Hunting sounds like a good time.
What do you mean explain that? Hunting for more supplies. Fine. Thank you.
It's arrogant today. Well, at least it's better than when he first was switching shifts.
I don't drink coffee. Neither tea. Sure, I'll take water.
Hmm.
Do you prefer to be by yourself or do you mind company?
I'm not opposed to any company.
What's this about engineering having a new weapon?
First time I'm hearing about that.
Hmm. Having to use the food supply for weapon testing is a little wasteful. Much rather eat. I suppose.
Allow me to ask you, do you prefer thin slices as long as it's meat, or something you can really sink your teeth into?
Something I can really sink my teeth. Preferably. Hot, obviously. I said hot. Who likes their meat cold? I do not find myself incredibly fond of deli meat. Too thinly sliced and, well, cold for my taking.
Meat is always better when it's warm and
Feet off the
juicy.
table. Captain.
Hmm. Well, in the chef's domain, you are abiding by his rules.
Morning, chef. Good day, good day.
Hope you don't mind
Me sitting here.
Not at all.
Captain,
Thank you, Chef.
Yes, Sid.
what's on your docket today?
Not much. It's my leisure day.
Okay. This time, you'd be surprised I'm not asking for another spar.
Hmm.
I actually want to talk.
Very well.
There is something that's been nagging at my mind a couple of nights back. Never had the chance to actually talk to you about it, but it's about the commander.
Gunch.
No,
Hmm.
Narsak.
Filth. But
If it bothers you that bad, I will bring it up, but you seemed rather passionate.
I am a carnivore. I only really eat meat.
fair reason. It should be as no surprise to everyone that Narsak himself is more favorable of less than traditional warfare. Doesn't like to get boots on the ground. Prefers orbital bombardments over populated areas whenever possible.
I am very familiar.
Yes, well. We have a transfer in Siri from him. Given how they act and how they are operating on permission-only standards, including the fact of just eating, leads me to believe that Narsak is also doing the same thing to other crew members of his own. Because of that, it is despicable. It is in violation of all life rights, regardless of species.
I thought you were bringing the food to me, but if you
Therefore, he has forfeited his own.
Show me then.
Siri, is that the small one?
Correct.
The one that follows you around?
Yes.
You know, I knew there was something off about that one. Just didn't know what.
Conditioned by Narsak. First night they slept in the halls. Narsak didn't give them quarters, it seems. The concept of operating without an order for everything is foreign to them. Strange. They don't understand how to cope.
One beef Wellington.
Much appreciated, Chef.
A bit heavy for breakfast, I know, but if someone of a
There's
higher
no
rank than
such
me
thing.
requests...
A breakfast is meant to be heavy, don't you know?
There's a very thin line.
Let's not get into the semantics
Mhm.
of it. Depends if you've got a lot of activities.
When it comes to training, conditioning, between a soldier and a tool. Some might argue that soldier is just that, a tool. But, at least for me, that's not what I'd like to be.
So why would you ask that of anyone else? Human or not, They're still sentient being. They still think and feel in similar lines. Not the same traditions, not the same
Primarily anything that does not contain water.
obligations, or moral compasses, or even spiritualism. But
Why didn't he choose Avlakan?
what do you mean? To
Don't
send to
mind my
us?
harsh words, but it seems like if you were to use anyone like that to become a tool, a great one, would you not use your own kind? Because you know the extent of your own kind's power, the potential they have.
I believe it's because Siri is a advanced psionic.
Okay, noted.
Ah,
In their quarters? Feel free to take. Oh boy.
They
Feel
are.
free to take
Yes,
notes, okay.
appreciate the heads up.
that would answer that.
Jeff, I am rest. This might be the best thing I've eaten this entire voyage.
Yes, well, I was brought aboard for my efficiency, not for creating such extravagant pieces. Beg your pardon.
After
Still,
5 days
Does
of
seem you have that talent.
cold meals, finally
Chef, what's this?
something
I don't
good.
wanna.
You wish to face him?
It's dehydrated. I wouldn't worry about it.
If
I think you'll find it palatable.
it is better, I do. If we were to go through the UPA channels, it could be discovered of his
I'll be right back.
transgressions.
Okay, I shall leave.
If what was done to Siri was done to other crew members,
Yes.
that in of itself is a stain on the Vulcan. If we handle it internally, and he just so happens to die, this is the most honorable way he can die. It's either that or be caught rotting in a cell for the rest of his life.
I mean,
Yes.
I've never had a weapon in my life. It seems like we're going to dangerous places.
Indeed, and I do fully intend to post such a thing. Though
I'll do
was
what I
hoping
can.
That...
To make sure that
Oh fuck.
the duel happens.
Roll would be...
We both know that's the best way to go.
Roll,
Aye.
roll. Not you, the...
I assume you have faith in your skills.
More than enough.
Krogan?
The Krogan, it's the Krogan.
Those who are not strong of body or
Indeed, we were
of
going
the
to do a
void
full firearms training,
tend to
and he
lean
was
more
going to,
towards the types of tactics and long-range assaults that Narsec does.
perhaps night shift last
I don't have high
It bothers me.
expectations.
I can confirm they have been working the night.
Which part bothers you?
He's the commander. For him to be,
So, when the day comes and they are available during the day, I do
for him to
intend
have that stature,
facilitate such a thing.
yet do what he does,
Hand to hand.
seems like an empty crown,
That is something I could do.
and I do not like that.
So,
But I mean,
Precisely.
I could try my best.
Well,
Hopefully it doesn't come to this.
I don't like it purely on the treatment of individuals.
that is not how you attack someone.
Maybe I do need training.
Perhaps. Remember that it is
Nice to
less.
have.
Either way, his actions are a stain on our kind.
Oh. Well, I
But-
mean, I was going to. I got a lot of technique.
That much is true.
That dexterity might prove useful in the other though, it needn't be today. It could be. Might
Well,
have
if
spent
you
some
get
time in
time-
the training area.
Yes, I would appreciate if you contacted me if you head that way. I might join you.
Very well. In the meantime, do a system check. Well,
Very
go
well.
about my...
Is this
Thank
offer
you
of
again for the-
hand-to-hand training open?
I
Yes, leave me
suppose
rubbish.
it is.
As always, I shall deal with it.
Yes.
Clean up.
Were it not I've licked the plate clean, I wouldn't waste a morsel
No
of that.
stranger. No stranger to a good fight, but I could always use the extra practice.
I don't want to appeal to my worst judgment and have a free chance to punch that mutt in the face, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
But
later on today I will be in the training area if anyone wants perhaps a lesson. Though for now, I have duties to see to.
What is he?
Chef, I'm not sure. I personally always thought it was a case of convergent evolution. Similar traits to similar environments. Or that, or he's a mistaken Vlokin that was adopted by someone else.
Excellent. Thank you, Chef.
Perish the thought.
Finally meet you.
And you. Oh, leave it, Captain, leave it. I'll deal with it.
Very well.
And you.
Captain,
Yes.
have a moment, perhaps.
I have a moment. What is it?
I put out a
let me
request
stop
over
you.
a long-range comms buoy. Got back information. Depending on our ship's financial status, which given our recent purchase is likely not good, may have some opportunities that might interest you.
Possibly. First things first, we have to deliver the crates of food that we have on board before they expire. That might be more lucrative for us in the meantime. But I will take you up on your
More
offer
pressure
later.
In the short term, for certain. Fair warning, my opportunities are perhaps a little more bloody.
That is perfectly fine. My people are the military arm of the UPA. We're no strangers to any of this.
Good.
But, as a dual note, I refuse to work with anyone from Centurion.
No worries there on my part.
Good.
We
I'm
might
a
have to do that,
freelancer,
man.
and even then I rarely took
No,
jobs from
wasn't.
them.
Hmm.
I'll go through the protocol if I have to.
Very well. Simple enough.
Oh.
It's a simple cage, really. You just put your arm in it and let it do its thing.
I was going to say, you won't putting me in a cage, are you, bird?
Never.
Good.
What did I miss? Or
Just
what
let me
did I walk
know
into?
when I should... Decontamination
Ah,
for the armor.
Ensuring pathogens not make their way onto the ship, I suppose. Science is concerned.
it was actually my concern I brought on the first day. The other two department heads were supposed to... Well, the other 3 departments were supposed to be working on it. Mostly because, well... One, Palace is prone to fungal infections. I don't know what everyone else on board is prone to, but Sid and I are prone to the human, well, humans carry it, but they don't show the symptoms of it. Kennel cough is what they call it. Can be fatal for
I
us.
see.
We didn't evolve with an immunity.
Yes, with such a diverse crew, it does seem imperative. Which is why I'm going to get my thing contaminated now. Problems around.
I'll go with you.
Very well.
Wonderful.
I can show you the process. So let me through it.
Sounds good. I'll get my arm.
Rather simple.
Hey.
Actually. Costa.
The generator is
Someone must have already got into Mercer. Good to see. Good. Everything's working as intended. My bones keep cracking.
Chief Engineer Mercer is looking for you.
Ah. Where is he? Never mind. There he is.
Right here. I get word you're going into the science lab. When I get into the science lab, you're going to your room. When I get to your room, going to the bridge.
Not my fault they built the maze.
Fair.
What is it that you need to speak with me about?
I just wanted to let you know, last night I was running a scan of the nearby area, and for the most part, things are fine. There's no ships or anything we need to worry about, but we are heading closer to the planet that we're looking to drop off those crates at.
Good. Well, sooner we be rid of them, the better. And hopefully it will bring in some nice funds for our ship. Yes, Ifrit.
I have a talk with my medical team about something. I would like if you could do a broadcast to the ship about the importance of having someone medical specific in spars and any other type of dangerous situation, please.
Do you want me to do the broadcast? You have access to the AI's broadcast authorities.
I'd rather tell it to you.
Fair enough.
So you do it, and then they hear it. Because yesterday I asked, and we had a little bit of an issue yesterday with all the station bullshit. And then before yesterday, well, that's when
By all means.
it first started, so.
Good day, Captain.
Good day, Argyle. Very well. I will put out the broadcast.
Alright. That's all, I believe. Anyways, I don't continue your conversation that I so interrupted. Or maybe not.
I think that was
Who knows,
about the end of it.
Very well.
Could I ask for some?
Oh no, no need to go down there.
I'll see you around, Captain.
I'll see you around, Mercer.
Mercer.
Let's test this out. Very well. This is your captain speaking. As a note to all personnel on board, from this point forward, if you're going to be using the sparring room for sparring, it is recommended that you have a medical personnel on standby just in case of an accident occurs. I would also like to remind any crew members that if you have not donated blood for our reserves, that you should probably be doing so now. Nothing further.
Did you have any other tasks?
I have nothing except for you still need to finish that locker, I believe. And I don't know what you all have to work on.
Excuse me?
That's why I was looking for you.
Nothing for now, at least.
If you're looking for work, talk to the rest of the crew. Hell, the captain might have something for you.
Nothing for engineering today. Besides, it's my leisure day anyway, so which won't work.
I'll go donate blood then. Apparently that's
Required. While we have the downtime, I'd like to do another once-over of the exterior of the ship, make sure everything is in order.
Oh, we did do a once-over already.
Hello, Captain.
Hello, Mia. I'm here to donate blood as well.
Please sit at next free bed. Okay. This was very small bit. Let's see. A little bit longer. And it'll be done. Okay. She will slap a small bit of goo on the wound. It will feel cool to the touch.
Thank
You done it yet? Have you had it done to you yet, Captain, or are you just sitting?
Not had my blood drawn for the donation yet.
Okay. Oh dear. Scoliosis.
Again?
It appears so. Okay. Oh jeez, for the sting small bit.
You okay? Say that again?
The chefs told me to come here. I don't really remember why.
I'm not sure why the chef would tell you to come here.
I think he was just concerned because I kind of feel like everything has like a filter film over it right now.
So I was gonna ask you, how did that other thing go? You know, the thing that you were, like, saying about, like, when you're not taking your filters, you're, like, aggressive or something? Or you awfully calm, something like that? Remember that? She also had a small piece of goo on it. It will feel cool to the touch. Has that happened yet as of recently, or? Oh, and you crap. It's stuck to me.
Is that what calm feels like?
Thank you.
There's a filter over everything, or like...
I knew
Thank
very
you
well.
for the donation. I'm not sure how to really explain it because I don't. not sure what you're feeling right now. But you were talking to me about, like 2 days ago, I believe, you were talking to me about how when you didn't have your mask on, you would feel calm or something, and you didn't know if that was...
Flashlight in my shoe. Thinking on my helmet, but
I don't think so. It'll probably look garbage and get jammed with. Anyways, so I was gonna put it on the shoulder, but I just wanted to get this confirmed with you.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Leave it in there.
Captain.
Captain?
How's the process going?
Oh, it's well
we're all
concluded.
done.
The AI was speaking to us, asking about the kettleheads we encountered at the station. They wanted to create a profile on them.
I'm sorry, the what?
The kettleheads. A gang of sorts.
These were the...
Pirates, perhaps. Extortionists.
And they willingly call themselves that.
Yes, it's quite ridiculous.
Well, I can understand the attitude for as compensation for the name, I assume.
I think the attitude quite suits their name, actually.
Why is that?
Well, they're quite unpleasant. Not exactly bright.
This is the case with most renegade groups out there.
Indeed. There is a pretty decent chance it may not be the last time we encounter them. So, good that the AI is aware of it.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully we don't have to deal with their idiotics too much.
Yes, hopefully. Though I would not mind a chance to go toe-to-toe with them, show them a good time.
I agree. Captain, seeing as we're still docked, perhaps it would behoove us to return back to the station, speak with the leader about the individual selling us goods that, well, are not marketed.
As much as
i.e. buying coffee and receiving fertilizer.
Well, as much as I would love to do that, believe me, I'm first in line to want to have a word with the station owner. We have food that is about to expire. If we don't get it to its delivery location, we don't get the credits we need to further work on the ship.
Apologies. Security Officer Argyle, we are no longer docked at that station.
It seems like we're no longer docked. Unfortunate.
Yes, I had Mercer set us a course immediately. Plus, even if we did go back and throw them a UPA greeting. The problem we still have out here is we are a single ship that's already falling apart. As much as I would like to take them head on, we don't really have the resources or the stability of a ship to handle a, well, broadside assault.
Yes, Captain.
Do not take...
mention added enmity of a notorious gang extends further beyond this station.
Exactly.
Further hinder our progress on our actual mission.
However, should we run into them again on a similar situation, we might want to actually suggest and pass the information along to the UPA. Give them a foothold out in the station's reaches.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Bolster trade, thus trade protection from the UPA is inevitable to come through.
Well, that I believe is just my point. Why would we do another trading agreement with that vessel? After all, they've just swindled us.
True. But that's a dealing with it at a later date. I'm talking about our future endeavors. Plus, we have to remember, again, we're one ship. One ship that's easily identifiable. Our reputation will precede us. If we are known for causing problems, then what's to say that the next station won't allow us to refuel?
Hard to say.
Precisely. Too many variables I would not like to factor in or risk right now. If I had a dreadnought under my command, then I might be saying a different tune.
Please, Captain, I believe if anybody had a dreadnought, they would be singing different tunes.
Exactly.
But yes, it's just informing the AI. I believe we need to proceed with caution next we meet. Especially these kettleheads.
Fair, agreed.
Did you know they pulled a man's teeth right out in front of us? For not paying dues?
Like I said, extortionists. Or perhaps it's some manner of tribute. Who's to say?
Yeah, I'm no stranger to taking trophies from a fight, but to do it to an innocent civilian is just disgusting. It shows how weak you truly are. Any agenda plans for the rest of the day?
None on my end. Continuing to do my research.
Well, I wish you luck with it. No longer. Hopefully the communications buoy helped you out a bit.
Believe they've made their way to the corporate registries, receiving some information back now.
So we await our next buoy. Probably shouldn't be too long. We're not too far away from the planet that we are delivering this food to.
They got their hands on the Vlakan. I was so close. All I needed was a reason. But they were not, and Vlakan was not a part of our crew, so I couldn't do anything. But if it was me...
One of the older elders of the Temple of Tyrion once said, "Heads, spikes, wolves."
Well, Officer Sid, if you had happened to swing on those idiots, you'd have had my full support.
Maybe I should have.
I was being honest, I was kind of looking for an excuse to beat them. Though, upon talking to the manager further of their situation, I thought it would do nothing more than jeopardize them. Which is not exactly something I was looking to do.
Nah. Can't get caught up in business that we are not a part of. Track us down.
Exactly. And unfortunately. Though I'm sure we'll get our chance at... well... a good fight. Speaking of fighting, the only thing on my agenda today is... some hand-to-hand training with a couple individuals. I know the chef expressed interest. That one engineer... I'll be up there soon after I take care of a couple other things.
Yes.
What else on my plate?
To add to your list, I know that you had stated already to me that the... well, our engineer who recently transferred from night shift there, whatever that is that's floating behind them, is a tool of a sort.
To a degree. Though, if I remember correctly, we have confiscated them more destructive, pieces to that thing.
I don't mean
Leaving
to
only
interrupt
them
that conversation. Whenever you're not busy, I would like to acquire something from you, if I can. That's about it.
Very well.
That's all I want to say.
That being said, I would like to know if it can be demonstrated in a safe and effective use while internal on the ship, as I stated before you all departed yesterday. If it cannot be, the whole thing needs to be removed from their possession. I am not making exemptions on this. Until the situation arises, we are following UPA standards.
Fair enough, Captain. Though, from what I understand, that thing that they carry on their back, other than its magnetic uses, or spacewalks, it is meant as a hull breaker. I believe any use of it inside the ship would, well, break the hull.
Then there is completely no reason to have it inside the ship on one's possession.
Understood. When I encounter them in my training, should they come, I will discuss that matter and confiscate their...
On the note of individuals aboard the ship being armed, perhaps this is a discussion that we should all reconvene with. Our recent encounter with the Kettleheads proving most aggressive. Perhaps we should allow individuals aboard the vessel to carry a sidearm, at the very least.
I'm inclined to agree with this, but...
It is the UPA standard to stop us.
We are also in unknown territories, so... extreme caution is always recommended and permitted. My problem is... we already have individuals we are suspicious of. If we arm everyone, then we are putting our security folks at risk in case these individuals seem to step further past what they're already doing.
Well, I suppose this is the discussion we need to have.
Agreed.
Weighing the crew's safety over our suspicions.
Fair enough, but I think that's a discussion we should have when all of security is present. After all, it is primarily all of you in security who will be putting your lives on the line if that eventuality were to ever happen. Especially with what you discussed with me in private, Argyle.
Yes.
It'll be putting you at the greater risk.
Well, as I discussed with you, Captain, it really isn't my well-being I'm worried about. It's the other individuals. But yes, I can see your point.
It is something to think on. However, I will leave you all to it.
Very well, Captain. I'll consider these.
But should both of you find yourselves free, I'm going to crack open that bottle that they left me on the desk, finally.
Very well.
Understood.
Need to pay medical a visit. Donate a little more blood.
I wonder what a Freed actually wants from me.
What was that?
I said, I wonder what a Freed actually wants from me. I just donated blood.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Perhaps I picked something up. Who knows? This music. Something stitch.
Well, I would love to send some data back home.
I'm sure there are quite a few of us with things we don't want to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm, I guess legally allowed to send over, and what I'm not legally allowed to send over.
And continue to breathe in spores. Hello, Captain.
Good afternoon. Hello. You wanted to see me at 3.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to ask you if you had maybe any records on, Tishier's, like, race or anything. Because they keep coming up with concerns about themselves, but they don't know what is normal and what isn't normal to them.
Haven't encountered their species before in the past. So I can't say. I only have what the EPA provided me, which wasn't much.
Okay then. Fuck. I guess that's really about it.
Honestly, If
anything, I can't really ask you anything else.
they're that concerned, you can probably pass along a sample of their, just a sample of them, over to Tiptolis in science and have them do a genetic analysis.
Well, apparently, they were sent, the blood was sent over there to science, but we haven't really received it, so we have no idea.
I believe it's on Palace's radar to have it done today, so perhaps you'll have answers then.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, also, passing my blood over as well. I'd like to get a baseline to make sure that there are no mutations that might occur from exposure to the new elements of these foreign worlds that we're encountering.
So nothing bad should occur from the planet with the bugs. Mushrooms are safe from there.
Fair enough, but still.
They're deemed safe by UPA.
I would like to at least have a genetic mutations baseline. Anyway.
Hello, medical.
Hello again, Argyle.
Captain.
Hello.
It's my day off. Call me Geralt.
Yes, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
Captain, have you seen Gunch around?
Last I checked, Gunch was in the, hangar bay. But he said something about going up to, or down to the training facility to practice hand-to-hand. Whether he's there or not, I'm not sure. He said he had other matters to attend to.
Alright, I'll check those two places then, thank you.
Of course.
Another thing, one of my members of engineering stressed concern about the exterior of the ship, even though we've already done a once-over of it. And they were hoping that we could do a spacewalk, do another once-over. Alright.
Better safe than sorry. Bring the ship to a stop, and then I want it on a full once we're done this inspection.
Hopefully the inertia will keep us onto the ship, but if you want us to go to a stop, I can do so.
Whatever keeps you all alive. After all, you're going to be taking a majority of engineering.
True. I will, do so then.
Very well.
Now I gotta find
Dr. Tally. How are you this morning?
I am well. We are well.
We?
We. Yes. My species does not have the singular possessive that Galactic Basic has, Galactic Common has.
I see.
It is difficult. Though I am learning.
Well, I won't stop.
We would give it a few days.
Fair enough.
It will be corrected.
I do respect the communal-based mindset.
It is all we have ever known.
Very interesting.
I have scanned a few crew members, and it seems they have a inorganic chemical or material in their bloodstream.
But most of them human.
Yes.
I've read the history.
It is petrochemical in nature.
Good day, Doctor.
Apologies.
Morning.
I believe the term is used as plastics, specifically micro ones.
Hope you're feeling better.
I see. I see.
Back when old Earth was still around and habitable, they used to use fossil fuels, and the product that they used from the waste of those fossil fuels was to make these plastic containers and other receptacles. It got into their food supply and bloodstream.
Let me go check the cameras. Very wonderful. I'm going to go inform medical.
Only reason I've dived into the history of Earth is because I had assumed there might actually be an Anok dig site in the Sol system, but that theory was proven incorrect.
Yes. That is a question I had, regarding the fate of Terra or Earth.
I don't see why not. So yeah,
Go on.
I guess I'll go actually in there anyways because I need them to.
What happened?
Draw some blood from me anyways.
Multitude of things.
As a species that only lives on one planet, it is difficult for us to understand, for myself to understand.
Well, there's different reasons. Humanity, the soil failed, along with pollutants in the atmosphere, made it next to inhabitable by its ending time. Finally, by the time they had finished colonizing a world and started terraforming their nearby Venus, the planet's atmosphere was stripped due to a solar magnetic or electromagnetic radiation from their stars' pulses. The atmosphere had become too damaged from the pollutants and rendered it useless, uninhabitable.
Could they not have fixed it?
The planet was beyond gone at that point. Doing so without even a feasible atmosphere, they wouldn't have been able to set up the equipment without fear of, well, more solar storms knocking it out. They'd have to completely clean the atmosphere first before they could move anywhere further. Although they could install. But that is more of a question for them. It's now more of a sacred spot. Is the best way I can describe it. A remembrance of what not to do and to not let it happen again.
A cautionary tale.
Precisely. My own people left our home world and colonized because, well, from a very early time when we could actually study the stars and their composition, we knew ours was dying. It's a B classification. Mostly violet light. But once it finally ends, it will collapse into a black hole.
I am very much aware of these classifications. Our star is nice. It is non-violent, and it will burn for millennia.
I hope it burns longer than millennia.
Indeed. Apologies for a dour subject.
No, none. None taken. My people very well know what we were getting into once we discovered it. It's part of the reason we kept our communal nature.
Yet, odd enough that I see so many individuals not working, free to walk around. It is odd.
Well, Many of our species, well, I can explain my own species. I can't speak for everyone, but for my own, we knew from a very early standpoint that overexhaustion and overworking an individual can lead to, well, burnout and a decline in productivity. So, to remedy this, frequent breaks and time to relax and enjoy one's personal hobbies allows one's mind to recuperate. And thus, once they return to work, their efficiency is phenomenally high. There's no real statistics, seeing as each individual gives a different result. Then this only increased once automation became a thing.
This is true. Automation also affected us. Manufacturing-related deaths decreased to nearly 99% of the 99% less of what was before there was automation.
Impressive numbers.
Though, yes, we learn. I will attempt to do such things, to learn, to take breaks, and report this back to my people.
I suggest you do. If you haven't done meditation before, it's also a great way to calm one's mind, clear it of all jumbled thoughts, a reset, almost as though you would a machine.
I am unaware of how to do so.
It's very difficult to describe, but it's mostly, controlled breaths. And then, whenever you find your mind wandering, just bring it back to a center focal point.
This will be attempted later. Thank you.
Of course.
I do not wish to keep you anymore.
No. I appreciate that, but I thank you for the conversation. It is always nice.
There is no need for flattery. Thank you.
Don't worry, I'll just use the other door.
Captain,
Yes, Argyle?
have you seen Commander Gunch around?
I have not. Not since our conversation out in the... Forgive me. I am having trouble with my common. Not since our conversation in the hangar.
Understood. You sure you're alright? You're not coughing up a hairball like a cat, are you?
I don't have whatever those little hooks are on my tongue. No, I don't.
I'll keep searching for him. Sure he's around here somewhere.
Was he not in the training section?
This is why I expected to find him, but he's not down there.
Interesting. He did say he had other things to attend to before he went to do the trainings.
Apparently he went to go meet Engineer Mercer down in the training area. That was the last I heard.
Interesting.
Now I'm not able to find him.
Duly noted. Thank you, Mercer. Any reason you're in the reactor room? I think the world is having an issue. How is this?
It's the exact same. There's something wrong. You sound muffled.
I think something around the soundproofing on the ship is broken.
Ah, right. You headed to the training room,
I was looking for Gunge for Argyle.
Ah, yes, I haven't seen them. Who's doing the same?
Apparently so.
They're supposed to be gearing up, at least that's what I thought.
He
I
said
spent about 10 minutes in there training myself, so they didn't show up.
he said he had other matters to attend to before he did that, but then he just disappeared. Mercer was looking for him earlier, but no clue where he went.
You'll be happy to know that without your supervision, I did some meditation.
No.
I did. It's hard for me to sit still, but I did do it.
It's not so much of a sitting still. It's a practice that needs to happen over time. It's not going to come right away.
As you say. Who knows? Maybe I'll be very good. Oh, look who it is.
Sorry, I'm interrupting something.
No, we were just discussing about looking for Gunge. Or you.
Understood. I'm still looking around for him.
He's not up here.
You just
We're
poof,
down here.
what happened?
I believed him to be here, but perhaps he's off doing something else.
I doubt he's in there.
Maybe you know something we don't.
Perhaps.
Oh,
Bench, everyone is looking for you. And by everyone I mean Argyle. He's in the reactor room for you.
understood. Thank you for informing me.
Notice might need attunement for their sensitivities.
Seems like this entire ship needs attunement.
Well, according to one of the builders of it, the ship was constructed from other ships. It's a Frankenstein, as the humans would say.
Is there any reason in particular? You're telling me we're on a ship of scraps?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm no shipwright, but it doesn't make sense for the UPA to put something so haphazardly together that they're sending out on an exploration voyage.
You would think they would already have ships for that exact reason.
Precisely.
I don't understand.
Even if they were constructing new ones. It doesn't fit within their parameters.
My first thought is, well, not a positive one, that's for sure.
What, that they've sent us out here to die? That was already on my mind.
Well, you're the one that said that, not me. But if we're throwing sticks around, it lands in a bucket, well, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Could be possible, but why?
It is.
Walking with the captain. Did you need something? I don't remember your name. That's fine.
You don't remember my name.
Well, I never asked for it, so I wouldn't remember it.
What?
I heard that we're supposed to be donating blood. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. I will be seeing you to do that. If it's necessary.
If you're having a conversation, it's literally not, like, it's not urgent, so.
Understood. Carry on. What was I saying? A ship.
Fits, I believe.
Frankensteiner. Right, yes. I say, why would be the reason?
I don't know. Unless someone out there wants to see this mission fail, though I don't know why. The only reason...
the mission succeeding bring more gain in the first place.
Precisely my point. Unless there is a reason for there not to be gain. Or someone wants it for themselves. My viewpoint is, there are very few shipwrights out there that produce ships of this scale and, well, equipment level. That's the UPA shipyards, which are few and far between, but following them, it's humanity that helps produce those ships. And then tertiary is the Vulcan, with our warships.
This isn't a warship, that's for sure.
But finally, the last on that list is Martello. They're the only other ones that would construct anything like this. And Martello is known for scrapping ships and putting them together in other situations. Nothing above a profit.
So you're saying this was made with the least resistance to get the most at the end. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's a possibility.
And we happen to be...
But
Right.
who benefits from the UPA not being out here?
Well, literally everyone else, I would say.
By everyone else, you mean the people that aren't in the UPA? That aren't amongst the trade routes?
I'd say so. Dark zones to be done. People who are more... I do it my way. This would be a boon for them.
I agree. But the one thing that all of those individuals are lacking is the pull in the UPA to have a ship like this constructed to fail. Unless someone has darker connections or deeper pockets that we don't know about.
I just find it well, as you can see, it's getting in the way of what we're supposed to be doing, so I find it kind of counterintuitive.
Agreed.
Maintaining the ship.
But without the ship, we can't do what we're supposed to be doing.
I don't know how abrasive it would be to just ring them up and ask them.
Believe me, I've thought about it. I've even put forth requests as to ship's construction so that we can see it, but perhaps this new builder of it will be of a boon to us. Elaborate on what was done and who had it done.
You're talking about the bug?
Precisely.
What exactly happened with him? I didn't hear the whole thing.
Apparently.
He slept. He overslept?
Apparently they fell asleep in the vents.
Well, it was docked, I assume.
That's what I heard. Or that's what they said.
I'm not the one to be thinking about this the whole time, so... That's your problem, Captain.
Honestly, everyone's problem, though, because we're all on the ship.
Yes.
And if it doesn't work, then it's no ship. It's just a very large tomb.
Let me bring forth an option. I think we should be scouring around for some spare ships that we might be able to use. If it comes down to it, and this ship is indeed a tomb, I'd like an open casket.
It is very optimistic that something doesn't blow up in your face quite literally.
You and I both know. We would rather live than die, yes?
Precisely.
Hypothetically speaking, like I said, if it comes down to it, we need to have an option. Plan B. I'm not suggesting to become pirates, but if we need to survive.
It would be a besmirch on me if I were to let so many die while I lived. I personally will not join you on that endeavor, if it ever were to come with it.
Are you sure? We don't have to kill them. I would hope not to.
Condemnation to death already, if we're not that extreme.
Life or death can be pretty extreme, and I refuse to die because something not in my hands. The UPA, for that matter, giving us a scrap ship to float through space. And that being the reason of my death, I will not have that.
We'll see. We're working to fix the ship, though. Perhaps we can make it something usable. Make light of a bad situation. Yes, Costa.
Update on the ship check. There was a panel in the front there that was loose. We fixed that. Looked like it just got hit by a rock. I fixed some wiring that was in there. We double checked the thermal paneling. That was all good. There's just some cosmetic damage, like paint chipping near the hangar. So everything seems to be good on the outside.
Very well. Good to hear that there's no problems for once. Thank you, Costa.
What do you think, Costa? If it comes down to it, because I'm sure you know more than me how much of a work it is. If it were to happen on the ship, we could perhaps use just in case. Would you not take the opportunity?
I don't know what you mean.
Something of a impromptu boarding. Maybe some polite asking, if not, some heavy-handed activity. To make sure that we don't die.
Are you implying we board a ship and take it over?
If it comes down to it, yes. We have to think these things through sometimes. Even things we don't want to think about. If we're on our last legs, do you want to just float out of here forever? Alone? Dying? Our rations will run out eventually. Unless someone finds us and has the decency to help us. Or just do the same that we would do otherwise. Take our things, leave us for dead.
Would hope that it doesn't come to that, but if we did have to do that in a for death situation, I would prefer that we ask nicely, ask for at least a ride to the closest station to where UPA could pick us up. But if we had to take over a ship, Mercer might have a better idea
I'm not
of what we
interrupting.
should do.
No, it's just...
When you are available, head over to medical.
Discussing hypotheticals.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you for your words, Costa.
Everything alright?
Fine.
I'm assuming they already briefed you on the exterior of the ship.
Yes. Mostly cosmetic damage, loose panel, fixed wiring.
Good thing is the thermal conductor seems to be fine. Didn't fry or anything.
Good.
Previous one.
Did you ever deliver the security box to security?
I didn't. Turned out that Gunch was indisposed at the moment. He might be around now, though.
Security box?
Yes.
Apparently, security wanted a box made that would allow us to store our weaponry in our respective departments. In case the ship's ever under attack, we could just open it up and
I see.
defend ourselves, essentially.
I just saw him now. Give me a minute. I'm gonna let him know.
I personally don't think we need it, but then again, engineering probably has more things that can be used as weapons than security has weapons themselves.
True. Okay.
Good day. Can I leave?
Bye.
Are you aware, by the way, or anything, of what apparently was in the vents?
What was in the vents? This time.
I was just told about it. Apparently black mold.
That is what medical was going on about, was it? Wonderful.
They handed us a
We
tomb,
had,
Captain.
Started scrubbing the vents.
The two might insinuate they respected us.
It's the least they can do, I suppose.
Even.
I'll leave you to it before he explodes. Captain?
There we go.
Indeed.
Yes, please head over to a free bed.
Of course.
I'm assuming you're here for blood drawn.
Well, yes, I was going to donate blood, but I also had a secondary concern. I heard in passing that there might...
Has anyone seen Ifrit anywhere?
He has gone to his quarters.
Oh, nice.
To clean himself. You were nearby individuals that might have been within the vent, so they are making sure none got on themselves.
Make sure that the fungicide is applied to that entire room. Once Ifrit is out, I want it sprayed down. Even with callous imbrumation, especially now, we don't need the chief of science to suffer a deadly fungal infection.
Understood.
Right. Follow me.
That is exactly my secondary concern.
If you're worried about anything, he just was outside. If there's anything on his suit, would have died.
That is fair.
You know what? It doesn't hurt to take a once-over, just to be sure.
Fair, but...
It's likely the vacuum of space removed anything, but...
I
Pardon
take
me,
it that
Captain?
space station didn't have its air filters properly scrubbed.
It's air filters? No, ours apparently.
Really?
Well, I'm just now hearing that we have a black mold problem.
Oh, for the love of...
Yes. But I believe it was either science or medical's protocol that suits be decontaminated once you're retrieved back. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. I forgot myself.
No, that.
Black fucking mold in my head. The basics.
I'm not going to miss the chance of you potentially blowing up. So.
I'm glad I can
Don't worry,
entertain
I'm
you.
not to egg you on. I won't lie. It is enjoyable.
The bare basics of hygiene couldn't be fucked. I think it's time for hand-to-hand trading.
Yes, Captain. Of course. Right. Do you want to call a medical person out just in case we don't get in trouble? If you have words to speak, now would be a perfect time. It's just the two of us, you know.
There's nothing else I can say that has not already been said. Aside from the ineptitude of whoever ordered the construction of this vessel.
Hmm.
Here.
Right. Thank you.
Don't break any bones, and I won't have to tie you down to a bed. Thank you.
No, it's fine. We always play nice with each other. Like I said, Captain, if it comes down to it.
It seems every day it grows closer and closer to that.
I have faith in your crew. They seem talented at what they do, but if it seems the UPA signed us off on a death wish with a tampering, then what?
That's a big problem for them to be, well, that discussion. Before I agreed to all of this, I was asked to start applying myself to join the youth council.
Do you regret it?
No, this was a part of it. They said I needed more well-rounded personal experience in leadership.
Do you think they're teaching you how to die with your ship?
Our own people? No, I don't think so. Whoever else is with the EPA, well, that is a question for later. Siri, putting up the barrier, please. No. Ever since our kind were outvoted to allow the corporations into the mix, there have been nothing but issues.
Go on. Speak your mind, Captain. You're so close.
One must always remember it is not the people in the companies, but it is the corporations themselves. Sometimes the individuals there are not of choice.
A decision had to be made regardless. By someone.
Agreed. blades or fists on this one?
Oh, I don't mind either way. It's your call, Captain.
Doesn't bother me. I'll let you pick. Probably think this way.
Come on, Captain. Relax. You seem a little rusty. That's the spirit, Captain. Yeah.
Also a debt from yesterday, I see.
It was your fault, Captain. You should be sorry. Gotta watch out for the quick ones, Captain. Come on, Captain. Show me something. Do you need a break, Captain? You like to call it here? Hmm. See, that wasn't so bad, was it? We're fine.
Thank you, Siri.
Get the captain first.
I'll be fine.
There's two of us. There's two ice packs.
You take.
Ice packs. Ice pack. I'm just gonna do a once over. You seem to be wearing regular armor.
Doing a once over. What do I see? Mostly.
You'll mostly see just superficial bruises, a couple of cuts from the claws.
Same as him. Bruises. Cut. Regular dog biting. Nothing too serious.
Making sure that the cuts don't pierce any skin, from what she can see.
Okay.
Do what you must.
Once again, like last time,
Like a personal one for you. On that 20, you would actually see one of the smaller cuts already starting to heal.
She can see cut-wise to the cuts that she sees.
You got the smaller cuts. Just make sure have ice pack on the bruises.
Alright.
Is stuck. Can help, please? There. Ice pack for major bruises.
Thank you. Like I said, it wasn't so bad.
You're bobbing food or
It's
something.
not like we're trying to kill each other.
No. Never.
Never.
First fight says otherwise.
Is there anything else either one of you need?
No. I'll be fine, but thank you.
Not for me. You got a good shot there.
As did you.
On them chest. How are you feeling, Captain? Better?
A little bit irritated still at the situation, but not as angry as I was.
Won't change in a day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine. Like I said, I meant what I said. Your crew, they're here for a reason. They should be able to... if it's not too fucked, we should be able to figure something out. It's not like I want to become a pirate. And it's not my line of work.
Fair enough.
You two enjoy blowing our steam thin?
Always. You better be lucky I'm on this ship. Who knows what it'd be like without me?
There is the thought.
I have an idea.
What?
He and I had a mission before all this.
That we did.
Yes. Are you both injured?
Superficial bruises, few cuts, nothing too serious.
It'll buff over. This is normal for us.
And the doctors cleared you both, yes?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So are you going to actually be doing the hand-to-hand training with anyone today, Gunge?
I was thinking about it. Seems you two have had your fill.
Aye.
It won't be a bad idea to combine it with the firearms training tomorrow, though.
Fair enough.
That would be good.
I believe we're going planetside tomorrow.
Oh. Well, and perhaps the day after.
I'll leave the scheduling of that up to you.
I'll talk it out with Roll, see what he's thinking on. He was the one that wanted to spearhead the firearms training after all.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
You look like you wish to say something.
Oh no, just observing.
Observing what?
Culture. Don't worry.
That's
I hope we're not becoming a subject for your thesis statement.
Oh, never. A conversation with Chief Engineer. Apparently he has run into the Kettleheads before.
Really?
It's been out this way. Might have some valuable information. Speaking of...
Yes?
I was just informing the captain that you have made your way up to the Kelton before.
Once or twice. Not really been in it, but passing through it.
Well, that information could be incredibly valuable.
Alright.
Especially if we're trying to avoid threats.
I can, try and get notes of the things that I know. Jog my memory first.
I'd appreciate that.
It's crowded up here.
There's the same amount of people there is here than there was up there.
And it was crowded there too. Your point?
If I'm not needed,
no.
I was on my way to have a run.
Please.
Thank you.
I was speaking with Gotcha. I believe he must have walked off.
I just saw him heading out, yes?
Ah.
You'll have to find him downstairs somewhere.
Hey. When did you want to crack open that bottle with me, Abigail?
Whenever you're ready.
Sid cared to join us.
Sure. With that being said,
a few words at some point, please.
Very well.
I've had a discussion with Gunch that I think you would like to be informed of.
I'll meet you all upstairs. And what did this entail?
Get out of the way of the elevator. Gunch has expressed your concern over my toolkit. I've had a discussion with him about it. And for the time being, there is an immediate concern, which is the fact that there is no storage locker capable of storing the device. It is simply too large for the lockers that exist.
We can find something for it, I'm certain, but any other concerns?
The other factor here is that I've already surrendered any of the more volatile payloads. And while I'm aware there's a concern of what it's capable of, it requires no less than 3 redundant safeties that only I am aware of to even reach the point of operation.
You see, my primary concern with it is, one, the fact that it is according to what Gunch said, if it is true, a hole-breaking device. Is this correct?
Only with access to the payloads in question.
Then what is it capable of without them? And can it be demonstrated safely?
It could, most certainly. It's a variable power output device. Only at the highest settings is it capable of any kind of destructive feats of that magnitude. On lower settings, it is simply used to hurl things a distance according to the distances required of space travel. Frequently, this is a magnetic tether or other such similar device. I've also used it to ensnare asteroids for mining operations. But without all of the safeties in question being disabled and a very intentional activation of the high power settings, incapable of accidental harm,
I'll think it over. But as I said, you said the variables were controlled by you. Correct?
they are. But, well, this will not put your mind at ease, but I hardly need the device to break the hull of this ship. So it makes no difference whether or not this device is with me.
Well, I'll consider it. However, if that is the case, then it should be no problem to have it surrendered, for the time being, until the tool is required for its use. My other standpoint on it is as follows. It is UPA procedure that non-security crew personnel surrender all primary weapons. If it cannot be used in a safe and controlled manner, then we cannot have it on board. Well, not on board, but not in possession.
Point exactly. It can be used in a completely safe and controlled manner, and has been done so quite frequently.
I'll review it further. For now. But it is not completely fair that one have a weapon while the others don't. That's also the concern that I have. If other crew members decide to start asking me to have their firearms.
The safeties exist for a reason. I
Safe.
will not make the same mistake twice in my career.
Safeties fail, and others can be tampered with.
but you don't need it.
This is just a minor request.
Yes.
Would it be alright, at the end of the day, if I may open up the bar? Because as of right now, it's currently being not utilized with the gas cloud being somewhere.
By all means, go ahead.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Ugh.
I hate everyone. No one's on me. Anyways.
He's got your back. Hey, Captain.
I didn't have his
Hello.
back the first time. Captain, let me get out of your way.
open a bottle and then you walked away.
Well, I did not know where the rest of you went.
Oh, I can barely hear you. Hold on.
I did not know where the rest of you went.
Oh, we were waiting for you. I think Sid may have stepped aside for just a moment.
I was outside my door. I didn't see anyone.
Really?
Yes, I walked down that hall several times.
We were waiting for you right at the elevator.
I had to get away from... What's the name? Vane.
There's a bit of a temporal distortion here. It's really hard to hear you.
I had to get away from that Vane individual.
Apologies for taking them on you. I did not really have means to contain their weapons, so I was hoping some sort of compromise might arise.
Their whole premise as to why they should keep it primarily boils down to, I'm not going to sit here. The engines are blocking out my voice.
It is rather loud in this corner. Science, leave it's another anomaly.
Yes.
Could be.
But my point here, or their point that they were trying to prove to me, was that just because they have safeties means that it should be permissible for them, and that they control whether or not the power output renders it dangerous in its current state. They told me they would not make a similar mistake as to one previously, so that implies that they've had an issue with this before. So it does not give me much confidence, but then they proceeded to say safeties exist for a reason, and I said safeties fail and can be tampered with. That, and with them being the only one who can actually access it, I assume due to biolock, then they also stated that they didn't need the tool to break a hole in the ship. So then I responded with, perhaps then it shouldn't be an issue to surrender it, if you don't need it for your tasks. So.
They seem rather attached to it, but it is an issue for later.
If it's something of their own creation, I can understand the attachment, but if they signed up to be here and they wanted to keep a weapon on them, they should have signed on for security.
Indeed.
If they are an engineer, then they don't have the weapon until it is required for them to be outside the ship to utilize it as intended.
We have to ask engineering to build a housing for it, simply so we can put it somewhere out of reach until it's required.
We also could just put it in the break until they finish construction of such a thing.
This is fair.
I don't see us using it any time soon right now. Plus, if what they say is true about the safeties, then only they're the ones who can use it, so...
Something that should be noted. Biolocks are very handy.
Agreed.
For example, my weapons have biolocks. Downside to having one, if hit with an EMP, you lose the ability to...
You're saying about the EMP. I'll respond in a moment.
Let me respond to him now.
Very well. Then we're on our way to my quarters.
Hello, Sid. We're on our way to the captain's quarters now.
Anyway, shall we? You're saying about the biolocks and the EMPs?
But shall. An EMP would render the weapon completely useless even in my hands.
You're not
That being said, it's a laser weapon, so it would also be rendered useless regardless, but...
It is a magnetized cannon.
My point being, biolocks have their uses. And their flaws.
More than fair. But as I said, even then, human error still can play a part in anything. Another nice and relaxing day that ends up with more problems on the ship.
Oh, Captain, I think that was your first mistake.
Was it?
Assuming that we would have a nice and quiet day.
I never assumed we would have a nice and quiet day. I just knew we would have a day which was less hectic than others.
One should typically assume the worst, in case it comes to pass.
It's that old saying, plan for the worst, hope for the best.
Exactly.
Keeping her afloat another day. Aside from the torturous work we've all been doing, how's everybody adjusting to the ship?
Well, I'll go first. I don't like it, but I make do. What was the one? What was the thing that Larkin said on that ship? God, touching grass.
Yes, touching grass. Was nice to see some vibrant plant life, like on the planet for once, not just the hydroponics lab.
That is something that I do miss, but I got a good night's sleep, so that's all I can ask for, I suppose.
At least one of us did.
Well, I'm adjusting fairly well. It's been a while since I've been aboard a vessel of this size.
That was the last time.
Well, that would have been at least 20 years ago. When we fought the militarian.
That's so.
Yes. used to be a privateer for Oracle before I became their agent.
You were a pirate.
Oh no, not a pirate. Privateer contracted for Oracle to relieve the Bellator of any artifacts they were transporting through our space.
So you were a
corporate pirate then.
Privateer, if you will.
When did you finally decide to make the switch?
The war ended. Many of the people that I served with decided to continue that life. Wasn't for me. Instead, I decided to help Oracle in another way.
How many years has that been?
20. Roughly.
You were planning on retiring.
Perhaps one day. We'll have to see.
You Gunge?
I found it difficult. I'm no stranger to being on ships at this point, but even 10 years or so I've spent away from home. Still, not ideal to be stuck inside a metal box hurtling through space for longer than a week. Though it has only been a little less than that, well, could certainly be worse.
It doesn't do us any favors that this place feels like it's about to fall apart at any moment.
Not really. I think what I miss most is...
taste. Actually, no, you finish.
I was just gonna say, the thing I think I miss most is having more filling meals. You know, whole 3-course, 3 times a day and not rations, so to speak. Not that I was pleasantly surprised with the, what did the chef call it? The beef Wellington I was served today. It was quite nice. Though not nearly as filling as I had hoped. Though I am no stranger to food shortage.
I heard the conversation about warm meat that you and the chef were having. It strikes me as odd you've never had anything cold. Well, it's not deli meat.
It's just simply not my preference. I've tried it, sure. Wasn't exactly common back home, but, you know. I just think meat is better when it's hot. Just not... something not right about it. It puts a pit in my stomach when I bite into a sub sandwich. Cold.
Might be one thing that I will agree on, that we all can agree on, maybe except the bird. Who knows?
We've other guys, people evolved from predatory avians. If I'm not mistaken.
Raptors, primarily. Birds of prey. Apparently my lineage goes back to vultures. You can believe that.
Getting a refill already, are we?
What could I say? Quite enjoy this stuff. Not very often I would indulge in it, but it is a nice treat, I suppose.
Agreed.
How did you find your way aboard this vessel, Sid?
I was volunteered for my exemplary performance.
I see. Volunteered or voluntold?
Well, I'd be lying if I said that the expectations and daydreams I had beforehand was a little more fragrant than the reality of. So, it's not that I didn't want to, but, it seems like, well, I didn't think of the ship being a enemy of our objective. So, but yes, I was volunteered.
Yes. This confounded ship and all its problems.
Captain, I think... I know not all of us are present. The security, I mean, but... I do think it is a serious consideration. What we discussed earlier.
Getting another vessel. As scrapped together as this place is, it does still have all the equipment that we need. Well, most of the equipment that we need. Primarily science and engineering's equipment. Plus it would take more resources to take over another ship if we had to do so violently, which we have to account for, since most people don't know who we are.
Oh, I do.
Then again, commandeering a ship may provide us with valuable resources that we don't currently have.
This is garbage. The blue box left in security was left by Grohl. And engineering a prototype of the box we intend to use to put weapons in the different department areas in the event of an emergency.
The question is whose ship would be commandeering.
That is, again, there's a lot of hypotheticals in the situation, but it is a last resort option and something that we should consider.
I think that should the opportunity ever present itself, we would be fools not to take it. If we come under attack by a lone ship that we can defeat without blowing it to pieces, boarding it and keeping it would be advantageous at least.
Now, I will say, there might be some things on the ship that we need that might be a little bit impossible to transfer. But, again, life or death situation, we might not even care.
True enough. But if it's life or death, the fact that another ship would be arriving begs question. They're either going to be hostile or they're going to be there to save us. On Argyle.
If we proposed another instance that could happen, instead of moving everyone from this vessel to the other, instead, we do have individuals aboard this vessel who are experienced at pulling ships apart.
True. True.
Salvage.
I can agree with that. If we're attacked and we
I
left
believe
them
we
their
do have
choice.
a target.
We do. You're not
Yes.
on this kettlehead nonsense, are you?
Of course I am.
We don't know their... As much as I would love to, we don't know the extent of which they reach. You, as a... in the field of espionage, should know that information is key to a win on that. We're a single ship that's already falling apart. Do you really want to poke a nest of hornets right now?
Well, I hate to inform you, Captain, but that may have already been done.
Really?
Grohl informed me that he may have let slip the amount of money we were carrying around with us.
See, now you guys are all riled up again. Right.
Yep.
Let it be known, Captain, none of this was my fault. I am innocent.
Nor mine. I had nothing to do with him admitting that. I never purely gave it away.
So we may have pirates, Captain. And I mean true pirates, not privateers.
I'd rather have the pirates.
If such a scenario occurs and we are attacked, then we do whatever we must to defend ourselves. And whatever is left behind, we take.
This might be a blessing in disguise.
I'd rather not get into conflict again with a ship that's being held together with duct tape and a prayer. That's my only hang-up. Is we already had failing thermal panels, we already have a shoddy broadcast system. I don't even know if our weapons even work. Perhaps that's what we should have everyone do when we return from our delivery tomorrow, is test ship weapon systems.
I think that is a fine idea. Ensure that we are battle ready should the day come.
Precisely.
Make sure they don't rust over.
Should also make a list of people who can actually pilot the fighter.
Yes. Well, I can. I'd rather not.
So that's one. Hopefully we have a few more.
Please, Captain, do not tell me that I'm the only person aboard this vessel I can pilot.
That
craft.
would be nigh impossible. Surely there's more than one pilot on a ship full of people that were
Surely.
handpicked.
Well, Archer's a pilot, isn't he not?
But
he has to fly the ship.
he's the primary pilot. I'm not sure if he's used to fighter craft either. I know MU worked on them for a while, but I'm not sure if it was solely maintenance or if it was actual piloting.
Do we really only have one pilot for that thing?
Right now, it seems so.
We're going to die in space. You know, I think being a space pirate is a perfect idea.
Oh, father. Oh, father, watch you across the
I'd look nice and with a, you know, little flag on my head.
You're actually trying to look more gaudy already.
Don't make fun of it. Makes my face look all pretty.
You're going to get the white collar as well.
You were speaking about that before you had to step away.
Hmm.
Your helmets?
Yes. Whatever.
You had mentioned that Emu was a bit afraid, perhaps, of that.
Yes. Most likely. It was a trophy after all. But like I said, yes, I'm not going to be hurting that one. He hasn't done me wrong yet. I'm sure he's harmless. Right, Captain?
Completely.
Then there's no issue. If he stays away from me, then fine. I won't take it to heart.
Is there something that I'm not aware of regarding Emu and involvement with Vlaka, perhaps?
What of it? What do you mean?
You mentioned a trophy. That means there was potentially a battle or a fight you've won.
But you, of all
This
people...
is a Medco visor. You seem to have noticed that. So.
Sides
I
are.
see. The conflict between the Vlaka and Medico.
That Medico then decided to cower behind Centurion on.
Yes.
And that's what got me volunteered.
Extremely.
My exemplary performance.
As did it for me. Well, that is what we handled, Argyle. That shot me up a promotion above Narsec. Though, at this point, I'm starting to really regret taking the position and not letting him experience this wonderful outing.
Would you imagine?
Quite a choice of words, Captain. It quite did shoot you up, didn't it?
On paper and in rank, fantastic.
Yes.
In practice, it's awful. Not saying the crew's bad at all.
A mess.
Which was a mess. There've been a lot of messes in the galaxy.
The mission we were on.
Prime example of what happens when I stay angry for a long time. I still have the scar to prove it.
You know, one of these days, just for my morbid curiosity, you know I have to see that in person, right?
Perhaps one day. But yes.
I too would like to see.
Do you want to tell them how I got it, or do you want me to?
Oh no, please. Regale us of it.
Yeah. But remembering...
It's your scar, after all.
Well... Forget what exactly caused the alarm to go off that alerted that security office to us. But I remember it was us moving down the hallway, cutting a sharp corner when someone jumped us. I managed to hold them off of you, you got a shot in them, then we proceeded forward a little bit more, when apparently your aim wasn't as good as we thought, and I got shot in the back. Well, that's me putting it meanly, I guess I should say. They were aiming at you, and I stepped in front of it.
Yes.
Charge from plasma gun does not feel good, and tends to go through basic recruit armor.
Yes, and that's when all hell broke loose.
Precisely. And that's how I have a fine bald spot on my back.
It builds character, as you said to me.
Oh, it does. Doesn't mean I wanted it.
Mission accomplished.
This is also true.
After all.
The important part and the important assets got out.
Yes.
On a note similar, though, I should warn you, Argyle. I've been having dreams lately. More along the lines of premonition, I feel. Seeing as this was the second night in a row. The children of Titan stir. Sure, you don't need me to remind you of those individuals that are, well, former human witch hunters, as they call themselves. Both Flocken supply lines and Oracle supply lines have been targeted by them in the past.
Wonderful.
Fear
So those
is...
mad dogs are out.
If this...
Down.
Well, this would seem so. My concern is we have quite a few powerful psionics on board. I fear we might be a beacon, especially since we're in, well, outside UPA territory. It's easier for them to strike. Without drawing attention, at least.
Do you think they knew that?
I don't know. The children of Titan, while dangerous, are very disorganized and scattered out. But if they find a cause to rally behind, that's when they become dangerous. When they go on their little mock crusades. And witch hunts. But it's just dreams right now. For all I know, they could just be attacking supply lines again. And it could just be reminiscent of crew echoing. Who knows? But something that we should at least have our eyes and ears to the ground for. Anyone have lighter stories to brighten the mood?
Well, don't look at me.
I think a story
Talking
of...
to a commander,
war.
a soldier, and a spy. And you talk about lighter stories.
Not exactly a liked party, if you would.
We're a very good group, aren't we?
This is the beginnings of a black hole, I'd say. Guns.
Yes, Sid.
We will be planetside soon. Just a reminder.
This much I know. I'm sure I'll be over by then. Nothing a quick nap and a visit to medical can fix.
Right.
Though, that has hit me much harder than I thought it would.
You're not even standing. You're
I'm
fucked.
not. I can stand just fine, I'm sure.
Commander, are you sloshed?
Do it right now.
I'll admit, I'm feeling a little woozy. I'll prove it to you.
Go on. I'm watching intently. I'm not going to catch you, by the way.
I don't need catching. Rolling.
Alright, Commander.
Oh, you got me. I rolled a 1 and a 7, so if you want to take that.
You're good. You're on the floor.
Yeah. I'm fine. Watch this. See? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh.
Alright, Gunch.
Oh, I'm great. Oh, I've never felt better. That's good shit.
Did it realign your spine?
No, I think it's misaligned now. I can just...
We can't have you dying in the captain's quarters, Commander.
Hi. I don't plan on
That
dying.
would look all kinds of awful, wouldn't it?
Oh yes, especially with your joke from the first day of travel.
What did he say?
I gather everyone in the bridge to witness our primary departure. This one comes in, the smartass that he is, and says, "Oh, what is this, Captain? You didn't all gather us all here to kill us, did you?"
That was a pretty good impression. It was impressive. Was it true? Did
Still
you
not convinced.
Yes, I took a plasma shot for you. Our first assignment, and you're still not convinced that I'm not out to kill you.
I'm a spy, after all.
If you're going to kill everyone, you know. Not to, you know. It wouldn't happen to me.
The people that I started with.
Surely you wouldn't.
Are you alright?
Depends on the day. That kid.
Be next to a wall. You're in the middle of the room. You're asking to die.
I'm not old enough or damaged enough to own a cane for you to borrow.
Come on, I'm not that old yet. I have plenty of years in front of me.
How long do your people actually live?
Let me see. I'm about 47 years now. I've got at least 30. Maybe less. That's plenty.
Likely
I've seen
less.
enough,
What do you
I
think?
It depends on how he fights. But if he's made it this long,
I've made it this long because I am an excellent fighter. Had I not been, I would have died in the theater of war that forged me. I could have made that metaphor better.
more than fair.
I'll give you a pass. You are drunk.
You see, alcohol wasn't exactly common on my planet. It was kind of rare. You know, war-torn. You'd think olive booze. No. Quite a luxury. In the Ventai Empire, there was quite little, as most of the farms that would grow the things we would ferment would burn down days after they're put back together. I can't say I miss it.
It's really a loss of culture in that.
The whole reason Kultura took interest in the place. We could not farm to save our lives. They thought they could make a few bucks. It's the only reason I escaped.
You sure you don't want to sit down, Commander?
I probably should sit down.
Let me understand this correctly. You escaped aboard a culture vessel?
That's right.
I wasn't supposed to go. There were some diplomats of sorts that were going with to discuss terms of perhaps providing assistance in return for other things. Whatever Toro was after. I snuck on with those diplomats.
Oh, thank you,
Got dressed
CJ.
real nice for it.
This is
In
my
my
feelings,
position
because
as
I'm not paying
Punta
attention.
Kai, they didn't really question it. Soon as we made dock at another station, I was out of there, never to be seen again. Toiletries and abandonment. It was a hopeless war. No reason to keep fighting it.
Was that you?
Was
that
what
wasn't
me?
you, was it?
I didn't do anything.
What do you mean? What?
What?
You've spilt your drink.
You telling me that I spilled my drink that I wasn't touching? Is that what you're telling me about?
Well, your glass did tip over and the contents are on the table. You should lick it up. We don't want to waste it. No telling how much.
Yeah, you'd
alcohol
like to
we'll
see
have
that,
in the
wouldn't you,
future.
Commander?
Speaking of which, there's still a little bit in here.
I'm going to have to carry him to his quarters.
I can carry myself. I'm sure.
Walk 3 steps right now.
Okay.
Rolling. With a 5. Nope.
One. Oh, one. Half one.
Come on, you know that old phrase.
2.
Oh, you had it and then you lost it.
3 steps. I almost had it. I was so close.
So close.
What's that old human song?
Oh, it's heavy.
You put one foot in front of the other.
It's heavier than I remember it being. My whole body's heavier than I remember it being. I'm supposed to be strong.
Do not fall asleep in the captain's quarters.
I don't plan on. I plan to get to my own bed. Do that there. If I cannot walk, then I will crawl. Commander, this is...
One of us help. We should probably.
Don't let the crew see you like so.
We might have to kill you anyway, then. And dump you somewhere.
I'm heavy. You'll have a hard time.
You're doubting my strength, is that what you're doing?
If it would make it easier, I could take off all my clothes. I mean armor. I would suggest you keep your clothes on there, Commander. How about you simply help me to my feet and I will lean upon you. The chef needs to start serving this stuff. This is great. I've never felt so relaxed.
Your Argyle, I'll swap with you in case you fall out, in case he topples on top of you. We don't need you breaking a bone.
Oh, come now. Not that heavy.
You tell me.
I think this would be a great time to do that hand-to-hand training I was wanting to do. Who's up?
Disagree heavily.
Come
Are you
on.
going to take off all your clothes first, or are you going to keep the armor on?
I could beat you to a pulp with or without it.
To your quarters, let's go.
Yeah. Yes, let's shout. Come on now, Commander.
Yeah, put one foot in front of the other.
The mold, of course.
I'm seeing you walking out the door.
Has taken its hold. Don't let Palace near me, I'll kill them.
Okay, right.
Not in that way.
Is this something?
Because of the fungal infection that we are lying about. Exactly.
Ah.
captain should invite us for drinks more often.
I think they should do that without you.
No, invite me. I'll have less next
What's the fun in that?
I will... What's the term?
Hold your liquor.
Moderate myself. Yes.
Yes.
You know what I blame? I blame the chef for not feeding me enough this
I'd agree with no, you could just say I blame the chef and I'd agree with you.
Two of them would have sufficed, but I was left with butter chunk, butter fleeting. A morsel.
Well, hold on, my elevator's fucking with my mind. Ah, there we are.
I've been reading that book, Captain, about the psionics. Quite wild. What a world I did not know existed for so long.
Hey.
You have a book about that?
Indeed. Well, it's a datapad. It's like a book, but it's on my datapad.
I didn't even realize you were next to me this entire time.
Yes.
Come on.
I think I can take it from here. I am in my room. I don't know if Grohl is here. If he is, oh well.
He's gonna get a surprise, I believe.
I appreciate you all walking me back to my quarter. Could I show my appreciation to you all in my own
In what way?
Oh, of course. I always am up for this.
Let me show you.
Take a simple handshake, thank you very much.
Antekogane, it was customary when you truly appreciated something someone has done for you, you show your appreciation in full.
You know what I knew? I braced myself on that one.
Come along, Sid. Let me show you how much I really appreciate what you've done. Ow.
He's lean, but he has a lot of power to that punch.
You don't say. Make sure you don't. Just check in the morning and make sure you didn't break anything.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine.
What the hell are you people doing in here?
This is an out of security.
I'm leaving.
My roommate. It's good to see you.
We need to leave before we see something that we should not see. This is not the security's job to witness it.
Your body is so red.
I believe Grohl is in danger.
You can smell the out.
Have a good night.
I don't know why he's banging on it. He has access to it. He's got his. It's bio-locked to him.
Well, it's off to bed for me.
Would you like to be left alone, Captain? It is nearing that time.
Yes, it is. Well, it does not bother me. I'm usually up later anyway, so.
5 more minutes.
Agreed. Quite the interesting sight. I was not anticipating that to happen today.
It was needed.
Agreed.
I think.
After all the walking shit we've been through, that was a nice alleviation of it.
It was.
We'll need that for planet side, that's for sure.
Agreed. We're also going to need more.
Good night.
You as well, Argyle.
Ah, you as well. That bird intrigues me.
So? So?
I told this to his face, don't act like I'm talking behind his back. It seems like he's always, at least when he locks eyes with me, it's like he's, what's the word? It's like he's studying.
Oh.
I'm not, a novice to that.
Well, he's a espionage agent. Oh, my comment is terrible right now. He specializes in espionage, so he isn't used to studying everyone. It's in his nature.
Yes, I am. I'm not as specifically trained in that regard, but I am familiar with the tactics. Though, as charming as I might think that I am, which I am, by the way, I do know that a towering Vlakin might not get in the mind of too many people. So, my subtlety is not really my thing. At least not for long. I can for a short time.
You don't say.
Come on, you've no faith.
No faith.
Down into like a nice little well, I wouldn't say a suit. That's a bit much for me.
Come now. Old classic suit.
I'd say that's gaudy.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You know, ever since I came back from that mission, I keep thinking about the Vlakin that was on that ship, the crew. They were small, maybe even scared. Of humans, no less. The ones in the stupid helmets. It bothered me. I told one of them what I could, and I let them know that if I had the choice, it would have been much different, but I didn't have the choice. And I reminded them to stay strong because that is what we are. If it comes down to it, we can fight back.
True. But you also have to remember, not all of our kind were born into the privilege that we have. To be born on the home world or one of the 9 core worlds is to be blessed in a way. You have access to the temples. You're trained from a young age to fight. Those that are born outside of our reach, outside of the core worlds, they aren't given that opportunity often. Unless they have the funds or the ability to make pilgrimage back. It's not doable. It's regrettable, but not doable. That's another part of the reason why I accepted it. This position. So that we might know where we can find our own people. Those that have left for different lives, should we ever need to recall them back. Should they ever need to find a way home safely.
I had no idea that was That's why you're even here in the first place.
Part of it. Another part of it is recompense. Most of the elders still think I have too much rage in me. They don't want me on Basilica. This is as much of an exile as it is a learning opportunity for me.
I didn't think of that. Maybe we are both exiled to repent.
Possibly.
Well, with that being said, you do have my support. Since I've been here, you have earned my respect quite rapidly. Faster than most. You are the captain after all.
I think you said, but still bothers me some days. This whole place. Everything feels off. It's nice to have a kin on board that I can speak with. The ship itself is so cold. No sigils, nothing to connect me to it. Void. You of the other psionics on board don't have the same cultural knowledge and feeling that you and I have. It's alleviating.
Even though my own attunement, as it were, is not as strong as yours. Yes, it is similar. And I think we both miss our home. We miss, well, I miss the earth that I stand on. I miss that. So, that's why I would like to, if possible, not expire before I land back. Because the void of space is not friendly to me. Or anyone.
Agreed. Well, should God forbid anything happen, I'll make sure that you see the skies of Basilica before you go.
That's all I could ask for, Captain. One request that I would have.
Simple enough for me.
Everything else will be in order from you, which I will follow. Unless, well... No. I'll follow it.
Enough. You have family back home.
You know...
Okay.
I was going to ask something a lot less personal, but I was just going to say, if you think the amount of people who like me on this ship is... Not that I would care, but I find it funny. For you, I feel like you... Of course you know, you're Vlaken. My personality might seem a bit abrasive, but I'm not trying to get in the way of people.
No.
Well, no, eventually.
It takes time.
But
we're all still new
answer
to each
your
other.
Question.
Hmm?
I do. I was the only one, but I did have a mother and father. They... Well... I don't know where they are. but I would like to think they're somewhere.
I'm sure they are.
They better be. Anyway, I should probably get out of your fur for now.
Well, I appreciated the talks. It's nice to reminisce about the home.
A lot more talks that I'm used to, but they weren't all pleasant. I'll admit.
Well, I'm glad I can provide that at least. Some respite from the rest of this shithole that we're in.
Yes, black mold shithole, specifically. How did that even happen?
I don't even...
I shouldn't have said anything.
You know, you're right, you really shouldn't have. What'd you say yesterday? It always happens in threes?
Oh god, I did say that.
And this is
a
the...
bit of delayed third. But, here we are. Rest well.
You as well, Sid. Make these goddamn showers too small.
Man,
You've never seen Men in Black.
Dog!
Bark.
Spawned right inside of my face.
Bark. In Men in Black, they have
Bark.
the like most dangerous tiny
Actually,
tiny
that's
baby
true.
gun,
Well, look at him.
and they fire and it goes.
I'm so glad we had that entire thing on fucking VOD.
That's so goofy.
I'm gonna have to go and watch that. It sounds like it was fucking great.
Oh my god, it was fucking hilarious.
I rolled for myself for how he would handle the alcohol and got a 1.
Hey,
So,
Oh my god.
Fucking Ryan popping out of the fucking shower. I wasn't expecting that.
so good. Yeah, we were in spawn and he was watching your stream. He's like, "Wait, I should go right in there." I'm like, "Yeah, do it." And it just disappears. I'm watching your stream. He's just inching towards me. What the fuck are you doing? I'm not eating. It's so funny.
Not easy.
Were you in Ryan's room?
Yeah, no, we walked in
Ryan's
these.
character.
Ryan's
character is Gunch's roommate. Rolls Gunch's roommate.
Oh,
Elusive,
that was great.
Yeah.
Oh man. He needed that.